essential steps to starting a sustainable vegetable garden. Planting a vegetable garden is an excellent way to enjoy fresh produce while also reducing your carbon footprint and helping the environment. However, some might not know where to start when it comes to sustainable gardening. Here are 8 essential steps that you can take to start a sustainable vegetable garden. Before you even begin planting, it's important to make sure that your soil is well prepared and in the right condition. You don't want the soil to be too compacted, like clay, or too sandy either. No matter the soil type, if you add a lot of organic matter, such as compost, it should amend your soil and add some nutrients. It's key to look into which type of plants are best suited for your space and climate. Researching the plants you plan to grow will also help ensure that you select varieties that require fewer inputs, such as fertilizer and water. For example, if you live in Ontario and want to know which fruits or vegetables to plant, look up the Ontario Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association to see which vegetables that are grown commercially in Ontario. That should be a good indication of what works well. I'll put a link below in the video description. It's also important to know when to start planting. For those of you who live in Ontario, the Almanac has a great calendar laying out when to start the seeds and when to plant them outdoors. I'll post a link to the 2023 planting calendar below in the video description. When deciding on a spot to start your vegetable garden, make sure the area is spacious and accessible. It should be located in a sunny spot where plants will receive at least 4 to 6 hours of full sun each day and have enough room for roots to spread. If possible, select a location near a water source, as it will save you time and energy during watering. Finally, consider the proximity of nearby plants or trees, as they may provide nutrients and support to each other. To make sure your vegetable garden is sustainable, be mindful of how you will purchase supplies such as soil, tools, and other materials to maintain it. Research local sources such as soil and businesses like seed suppliers that specialize in eco-friendly products to help reduce waste. Additionally, look for materials that can be reused or recycled, such as compost bins made of recycled plastics and metal tools. If you're unable to find the exact supplies you're looking for, there could be alternatives like secondhand stores or even Facebook groups like Buy Nothing groups in your area. Use a rain barrel to catch rainwater to water your garden. Using rain barrels is sustainable as it helps to conserve water and reduce runoff. As an additional bonus, rainwater collected is great for your plants as it contains more nutrients, yet doesn't contain the chlorine like tap water does. Using a rain barrel will also save you money. Just make sure you keep some kind of mosquito barrier to keep them from laying their eggs. Can you start a sustainable vegetable garden without talking about compost? Mulch and compost are great options for improving plant growth and soil fertility. Compost will bind the soil together, helping to reduce water loss, retain nutrients, and nourish plants. It also helps the soil maintain an optimal pH balance by encouraging microbial life. Manure from animals such as horses, cows, and chickens can provide key nutrients, such as phosphorus and potassium, that plants need to thrive. Make sure to avoid using fresh or heavily treated manure for best results, or stick with compost and mulch like me. When selecting seeds, you should consider your local climate as well as the timing of when to plant your seeds. Pick seeds suited for your particular climate and make sure that you'll be able to harvest your crops during the growing season. Be sure to check the seed packet for more detailed planting instructions and advice. Local seed libraries are a great source for locally adapted seeds. See if your local library has one. I love how the Niagara-on-the-Lake Public Library has a seed library program here in Niagara. A seed library is a great idea since it helps foster the tradition of seed collecting and also the sharing of locally adapted plant varieties. I'll share a link to the Public Library seed program in the video description below. Here's a great place to start a sustainable vegetable garden: food scrap gardens. Did you know that you can actually regrow some of your vegetables from scraps? You can regrow several vegetables like green onions, celery, potatoes, garlic, ginger, and lettuce. Some vegetable scraps will need to be put in water to sprout or develop roots. Others can be planted directly in the soil. Another great tip to start a sustainable vegetable garden is the proper pairing of plants. Plant companionship is the practice of planting vegetables and plants in groups that are mutually beneficial to one another. For example, growing certain plants and vegetables together can attract beneficial insects to keep away pests, or deter certain animals from sneaking into the garden for a snack. By understanding how different plants interact with one another, you can create a more balanced and productive garden. For example, garlic may help deter beetles from potentially consuming your carrots and spinach, while other companions, such as onions and chives, can have a negative influence on the overall health of these vegetables. It's important to take time to learn which plants are good or bad for each variety and to get the most out of your garden. Attracting the right kind of bugs is another way to start a sustainable vegetable garden or update an existing garden to be more eco-friendly. You can attract beneficial insects to your garden by grouping certain flowers and plants together. For example, many varieties of the daisy family are great for attracting predatory insects like ladybugs. These animals prey on the small pests that otherwise would cause damage or stunt the growth of many vegetables and plants. As you can see, there are many steps you can take to start a sustainable vegetable garden or update an existing garden and adapt it to be more eco-friendly. Knowing about soil and compost, water conservation, beneficial plants and insects, and using local resources are all actions that you can take to start a sustainable vegetable garden. If you like this vlog post, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and visit my website at greensliceoflife.com.